stay here. And no, I don't wanna be.
This is CryptoTube. Welcome to the channel. In today's video, we are looking at Kyber Network Crystal, or KNC as you would have heard of it. It is a decentralized exchange protocol, and it aggregates liquidity from numerous pools to provide the end users with competitive prices. Now, this is one that is fastly and quickly, shooting up the ranks on CoinMarketCap, and we're seeing a lot of usage for this. It wants to be the go-to liquidity layer for DeFi, which is, as we know, a growing space. So this could really be a massive project. So we're going to take a look at some of the recent updates today and why I have recently got involved. So for full transparency, I've bought some KNC and I will continue to DCA, or dollar cost average in, over the coming months to up my position to a level that I feel is appropriate. I'll also be providing monthly updates on this project from now on. So subscribe to the channel, guys, if this interests you. So first off, the stats then, it is ranked 39th on CoinMarketCap, currently around $1.20. Market cap around $200 million. I do believe this is a $1 billion market cap potential. Circulating supply 180 million KNC. Total supply currently 210 million, but it does have a deflationary total supply due to the fact network fees are burnt, currently at a rate of 70%. However, this will be changing with the recent or upcoming DAO that is going to be implemented with this. So I'll cover that in today's video, but the fact that the supply will be going down, and they've already burned almost 5 million coins. If we look over on tracker.kyber.network, they've burned nearly 5 million KNC thus far. So it's not as if the burn is a slow process, because 5 million gone already is a good percentage of that total supply. So deflationary, a lot of demand for this one. I think it's going places. Just a quick look at the markets. Of course, you can use the Kyber DEX itself and swap any ERC20 token into KNC. However, you can also find it on Coinbase Pro, which is a go-to for retail investors, which is a great place to have it. OKX, Binance, Upbit, Bithumb, Huobi. It's got most of the big exchanges already listed. I'm guessing more will come over time, but the liquidity is there, and that price discovery is possible via having all these exchange integrations. So typically I wouldn't be buying a coin after such a big pump. However, even though it's up 62% since May the 1st, this is due to the developments ongoing with Kyber. You can see a big pump up here around the 8th of June, where they released their latest ecosystem stats, and where they mentioned that the Kyber DAO and the new protocol Catalyst is about to be launched. So this is projected to be possibly the end of this month of June. So a lot could happen in a very quick period of time. I don't like to FOMO in usually, but I thought I really like the project. I can see huge long-term value. I'm a long-term investor, and therefore I did make a good size purchase, but I will continue to DCA into my position. But I do expect once the Catalyst protocol is upgraded, we will see a further, moonshot of this price. And this is being touted by a lot of YouTubers and people over on Twitter as well. So it's definitely got a lot of support in the industry too. So keep your eyes on KNC. So over on Kyber.network, their website, seamless token swaps anywhere. So this is an on-chain liquidity protocol, and this is something you can implement into your dApp very easily. They have a widget which makes it easy to actually get Kyber on your dApp or your website. And you will have seen in recent news that DataDash's new product, I think it's called Unifox, has already integrated Kyber, and it's got a list of partners and users of the protocol. What are the benefits? Well, if you're using the Kyber DEX, you get instant trades. So there's no order books, no time to wait. Also with this, you're going to get a full execution. So it either executes or it doesn't. So that means you're not going to be left with dust amounts like you do on centralized exchanges. You're also going to get transparent prices that are highly competitive due to the number of liquidity pools feeding their price data. And on top of this, we've had a recent integration with Chainlink price oracles as well, so further decentralizing the price data there. So for end users, you can swap tokens. For developers, you can build with Kyber and obviously access liquidity from the get-go. And you can also list your tokens if you're with a token team. So this is really helping to expand DeFi and expand the number of dApps that are being created. I guess one of the biggest problems if you were creating your own dApp would be, how the hell do you get all this liquidity and how do you get people to use your token? Well, with Kyber, you can swap any ERC20 into another. So for example, I create a new CryptoTube token. I guess there's not real much demand for that. However, anyone could use the Kyber network. And so, for example, rather than have to actually buy my token, they could just swap it instantly through the widget, as easy as that. So it is super simple to do. How it works then, so on the one side we have the reserve liquidity. So this is from market makers, maybe token projects, liquidity pools, and also token holders. If you're a holder of coins, you can get involved with this and earn some fees as well. All the liquidity is then aggregated, and then on the flip side we have the takers. So on the other end, users of dApps, we have wallets. Exchanges as well are utilizing Kyber, such as Trust wallets, such as Coinbase as well have usage of this. And then we have just end users like me and you who may just want to go and swap, say, our KNC into DAI, for example. So just as an example, these have all integrated Kyber swaps, MyEther wallet, Engine, IM token, and eSwap. And then we have Kyber swap being their main product here, and we'll just jump into that. So this is what it looks like. You need to plug in your relevant wallet, so maybe a MetaMask, Ledger, or Trezor, and then you can just interact with the code. So not like a centralized exchange where you have to pass KYC, any details like that. You're just interacting with code on the Ethereum blockchain, and you can just swap your tokens for other tokens. So for example, you could pick out any ERC20. So say we have some ELF, and we actually want to get KNC. It's going to give us the price data here, and 1 ELF equals 0.08 KNC. Or maybe we've got ELF and we want to convert to DAI. What's the rate there? Okay, here it is. And you can just swap that easily. So this is super simple to use. There's an abundance of use cases for this, and you can see why it's a growing industry and why Kyber has been, shooting up the coin market cap ranks, because it's empowering new dApps and new developments, and it's empowering us as end users to use decentralized exchanges. So rather than use centralized entities, we all know the pitfalls of these, and once you've been burned by one of them and then you see that there's a DEX like this, of course this is just for ERC20s at the moment. They do have also some EOS integrations, but for now, if you are maybe an Ethereum buff, this is where you'll want to be swapping your tokens. It just makes perfect sense. Crypto is all about decentralization, so we need to support decentralized exchanges. There are 3 main components that contribute to the Kyber network. The first one we just looked at, which is Kyber Swap, which allows for the instant exchange of different tokens without wrapping or any order books or deposits. So totally non-custodial, exactly what we're after. Next, they have the Kyber Reserve. This functions to provide liquidity to the network as third parties contribute tokens to the pool that can be used across any platform. Security in the reserve fund is maintained through the use of transparent fund management model, where all trades completed by reserve managers are recorded, so you can check that on the blockchain. And then they also have Kyber Developer, which is instrumental in bringing new dApps, exchanges, and wallets to Kyber. And they have all the tools and documentation to easily plug this in. And this is like a cornerstone of the development of Kyber. It wants to become the go-to liquidity layer for DeFi, and through the development means, onboarding more customers, onboarding more dApps, onboarding more exchanges and wallets is how they're going to do this. So these are the 3 pillars of Kyber, and they all provide very important roles. I won't spend too much time reading through these, but you can see the main contributors in the ecosystem. We have users, reserve entities, reserve contributors, reserve manager, and the Kyber network operators. I will leave a link to this article down below for you to read in your own time. So the Kyber Network Crystal, the token behind it, actually has a few uses. The first is to collect transaction fees, and a portion of every fee collected is burned, which keeps KNC deflationary. In the current model, the total burn is 70% and the fee is 0.25%. So take 0.25% of total fees, 70% of that is what is currently burned. This will change with the Catalyst upgrade that's coming, and we'll discuss that in a second. But KNC also ensures the smooth operation of the reserve system in the Kyber liquidity, since entities must use third-party tokens to buy KNC that pays for the operations in the network. And then finally, KNC token is the connection between the Kyber network and exchanges, wallets, and dApps that leverage the liquidity network. It's a virtuous system since entities are actually rewarded by referral fees for directing more users to the Kyber network, which helps increase adoption of Kyber and for entities using the network. So there's a positive feedback loop there to get more usage out of Kyber and to onboard more people to actually get involved with it. So if you're building a dApp, you're going to get liquidity, but also you're going to get kickbacks as well, which is a very nice model. And this is a great business model to employ. And then there's some additional value or utilities of KNC. So soon to be fourth and fifth uses, which will be the staking token. So go in proof of stake, get a staking rewards, passive income, and then also as a governance token. So you can vote on proposals, which will be every other week. So bi-weekly, they will have a proposal round, and you have to vote every 2 weeks on the proposals within that, which is, quite a lot of manpower to do that. Very interesting, but this is where we have delegated proof of stake coming into play. So if maybe you don't want to be voting every 2 weeks to get your staking rewards, you can delegate to a third-party provider. However, they won't be taking control of your coins. It will be non-custodial because delegated proof of stake does not require deposits of coins. So pretty good way of earning passive income is through KNC token. So the Catalyst protocol upgrade will see a new token model come into existence. And it also kicks off the Kyber DAO, which puts KNC token holders at the heart of the Kyber network. They'll be playing a critical role in deciding, for example, the incentive system that is going to be implemented going forward. So this is one of the critical votes coming up for Kyber. It says the Catalyst upgrade will create a stronger ecosystem by creating strong alignments towards a common goal, whilst also strengthening the incentive for stakeholders to participate in the ecosystem. So the main beneficiaries are going to be the reserve managers, the dApps themselves, and KNC holders. The reserve managers will see two new benefits, providing liquidity to the network. So the first of these benefits will be incentives for providing the reserves. Once Catalyst is implemented, part of the fees collected will go to the reserve managers as an incentive for providing liquidity. So this should increase liquidity of Kyber, as there's a positive incentive for you to become one of these managers. Then the mechanism is similar to rebates in traditional finance and is expected to drive the creation of additional reserves and market making, which in turn will lead to greater liquidity and platform reach. So having rebates for carrying out tasks, if you think about institutional investors, they're looking at this with the kind of outlook of how does this crypto make me money? And if there is a profit incentive involved, I think institutions will be looking at the likes of Kyber and its model as something to invest in, because it is going to give you a monthly return on your investment. And with the growth of the platform, it could be quite healthy over time. So although this could kick off quite quickly, the long-term play on Kyber is a pretty good one. Then for integrating it to your dApp, you can then set your own spread. So this will be the next upgrade. So at the moment, the fee sharing is 30% of the 0.25% fee. As mentioned, 70% gets burnt. But with this upgrade, dApp developers will be able to set their own spread. So this should increase adoption of Kyber, as you will be in control of the fees and therefore control of your bottom line. So this is going to be a very good move. And then for the KNC holders themselves, they are a core feature of the Kyber network. This is reiterated in a lot of the blog posts on here. and it says the mechanism will allow them to receive a proportion of network fees by staking their KNC and participating in the Kyber DAO. So you have to continually vote to be getting the maximum rewards. If you don't vote, you will get lesser depending on the amount of votes you were part of. So I'd highly recommend joining the Kyber Discord. Go over to Burn Rebate Rewards. There's discussions on here as to what the varying rewards should be for those 3 pillars. And then this is the calculation. So the available rewards are the network fees times the ratio allocated to rewards. Your voting points is your KNC times by the number of campaigns voted on. Your share is your voting points divided by the voting points for all stakers, and then your reward is your share multiplied by the available rewards. So you're able to actually vote on this as a KNC token holder, and you'll be able to decide the network split. And a few people within here have put forward allocations, 10, 50, 40 for example, burn 10%, staking revenue 70%, rebates 20%. So there's a lot of conversation going on at the moment, and I think people will push towards the staking revenue being high, and the higher that the staking revenue is, I believe the greater we will see the price increase of the actual token itself, because that directly impacts on your earning potential from the get-go. Whereas if the burn is maybe a higher percentage, it's going to take time for the burn to actually impact upon the coin economics. That's just my 2 cents. So just to recap, KNC holders will vote on deciding initially the network fee, which sits at the top, and then the split of rewards for staking, the split of reserve rebates, and the split of KNC burned. So you really are at the core of this project by getting involved with this, and this is kind of what crypto is invented for this decentralized governance. So this is a really great feature and one of the reasons why I really like the look of Kyber. Last but not least, we'll just have a look at the usage over the last few months. So this is the Kyber Network monthly USD volume. We have the monthly trades. Generally, most of these things are going up. There was a little bit of a blip around April due to the crash. Kyber Network monthly first trade, so new users, and then the number of unique addresses. All metrics looking like they're going in the right direction for Kyber. And then we have the top 15 integrations of Kyber and its decentralized exchange protocol. Number 1 being Kyber Swap, seeing $42 million worth of volume in May. Then we got 1inch Exchange, Kyber Swap for Android, Trust Wallet, and then a few more that you would have heard of. But you can see a lot of use on Kyber. This is going to generate a lot of fees going forward. Those network fees then being divided to stakers, to rebates. You can see there's a lot of incentive for being involved with the KNC token. So just to conclude then, some of the main points that I really like about this, I think institutional investors are going to lap this up because it is going to create profits. Every single month, you're going to be getting a return on your investment. So I can see a lot of institutional money come into this one. Also, as someone who really likes staking coins, the chance to get an ROI from a project that's also going to be growing is just a win-win and seems like, a bit of a no-brainer for me. Staking will also lock up more of the supply. We've seen with some other ERC20s that go over to proof of stake that they can have up to 80% of the supply locked. This can happen very quickly, and once we get a locked supply and increase in demand like the network has, we're going to see price really shoot up. I also think DEXs are the way to go and will have a very big impact going forward. I think people should be onboarding themselves into a DEX, and Kyber is actually doing that very well. On top of this as well, we have more usage on this network, and a growing usage equals more coins burned, and there's like a positive feedback loop for that. And so price long term for this should really go up. So I'm really bullish on KNC. I like it. I like the name Kyber Network Crystal. Let me know your thoughts and opinions though, and let me know what you want to explore next. So I'll do an update in July for this project. Let me know what you want to see, guys. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.